Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Coming up, 8 have taken their oaths to form the new Calabishi Village Council. The Dominica State College to offer new programs in the next academic year, and the Puerto Rican artist to perform at 2014 Jazz and Creole. Join me as I bring you the details of these and other stories coming up right after the break.
The black Sikatuka fungus can survive on banana and plantain leaves even after they have been cut from the tree. Farmers and hucksters are encouraged to use alternate cushioning material when moving produce from farm to the market. Do not use banana and plantain leaves as cushioning. It is against the law to move banana and plantain trash from the field. Obey the law and stop the spread of black Sikatuka today.
Thanks for staying with us. Time now for the details of the news. The Ministry of Education, through its Regional Integration Task Force work plan, is currently embarking on a schools sensitization drive to educate students on matters as it relates to CARICOM and OECS integration. The public awareness program, which commenced in September last year in the Eastern District, has been extended to primary and secondary schools in the Northern District. Assistant Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise is a member of the recently formed Regional Integration Task Force, charged with the responsibility to push the regional integration agenda forward.
Really, the effort intends to sensitize our senior primary school students, more specifically grade 5 and 6, and our secondary school students in Form 4 and 5 on issues, as I said earlier, relating to CARICOM and OECS integration.
Dr. Blaise says as a means of ensuring that the sensitization program is a success, teachers are being trained on innovative methods on how to impart knowledge to students about regional integration.
But we intend to move further. We intend to have a sustained training of trainers model where we will do workshops for our teachers, more specifically teachers who teach social sciences in the secondary schools, and our grade 5 and 6 teachers at the primary school. And we intend to train them on some of those issues so that they could go back to the classrooms and sensitize students in a more sustained manner.
As part of the exercise, the Ministry of Education will also seek to test the knowledge competencies of students on the subject matter through a visual and performing arts exposition.
We are hoping that as part of the sustained initiative, we will also celebrate the level of awareness of our students in the form of visual and performing arts exposition, and we're still working on that in the draft form, but we're hoping that down the road we will obviously be able to showcase our students' level of awareness and on those issues, and they will put forward creative performances to demonstrate that awareness. In addition to that, we are hoping that we can have quarterly publications which bring to focus some of those issues relating to OECS and CARICOM, so that our youth can be greater sensitized. So it's a real package of sensitization that we are embarking upon as part of the task force work plan.
While there is some awareness about regional integration in Dominica among students, the Ministry of Education views this sensitization exercise as critically important. Global Food Monitoring Body for the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the FAO, is alerting global banana-producing countries about a new destructive banana disease called Fusarium wilt. The new disease is reported to have been recently spread from Asia to Africa and the Middle East. The disease has the potential to affect Latin American countries as well. Popularly known as tropical race 4 or Panama disease, the disease is posing a serious threat to production and export of the popular fruit, with serious repercussions for the banana value chain and livelihoods, the FAO reported this week. In plants affected by the disease, the leaves grow pale, resulting into crop damage, which also affects crop germination. Banana is the 8th most important food crop in the world and the 4th most important food crop among the world's least developed countries. Meanwhile, head of Dominica's Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit, Ryan Ansem, says the new banana disease was a subject of discussion at the recently concluded 9th session of the Commission on Phytosanitary Measures in Rome.
There's a new disease in banana called Fusarium wilt, RIS4, that is really destroying Africa. And part of that meeting really is to put strategy on how best we can prevent the introduction and spread of pests globally.
The Fusarium wilt disease is soil-borne and the fungus can remain viable for decades. GIS News understands that once the disease is present in a banana field, it cannot be fully controlled by currently available practices and fungicides. The best way to fight the disease is to prevent its spread, which includes avoiding movement of diseased plant materials and infected soil particles. In other news, 8 residents led by returning chairman John Peters were sworn in to form the new village council of Calibishi in a ceremony held on Wednesday. Among those witnessing the swearing-in were Dominica's president, His Excellency Charles Savren, and Mrs. Savren. The councillors took their vows facilitated by Justice of the Peace Oliver Marcel. Desmond Warrington, Kamisha Joseph, and Anthony George were the nominated members of the council, while those elected were Brenda Paul, Anelta Joseph, Man Henry, John Peters, and Lennox Abraham. Returning chairman John Peters listed a few of the well-known accomplishments of the previous council under his leadership.
We facilitated residents in receiving water and electricity connections, in that the utility companies would ask us to endorse the applicants, which we did, and they received their connections. We also assisted residents in obtaining bank accounts. Same manner, we get the information from the bank and we endorse the persons. Providing land or providing space for the Golden Age Group to set up a plant nursery on the compound of the council. We also assisted the Women's in Agriculture group, to construct an onion drying shed.
Another highlight is the establishment of a regular local market in Calibishi, which is considered by the chairman the cheapest market on the island. Its motto, he says, is "Everything must go." Peters also spoke briefly of the new council's outlook for the next term, for which the community's involvement is fundamental.
Some may ask, what has the council done for us? But we should ask ourselves, what have we done for our village? Therefore, community participation is the key to success. Without you, the 8 of us being sworn in today, we can never handle all the tasks ahead of us in the community. So that's why we are soliciting and appealing to you whenever we come out and ask you to assist us in certain activities that we do. We want you to come and support us fully.
Also addressing the ceremony was Member of Parliament for Calibishi, Honorable Matthew Walter. Honorable Walter personally vouched for each member of the new council, describing them as a patriotic bunch.
Let me first of all commend those men and women who have taken that bold step to represent their community of Calibishi. I know every single one of them. They are all my friends. And I can attest to it that they are community-oriented individuals. Not only that, but they are diligent people. And they have a track record because they can pinpoint to the many projects, whether we're talking about social, economic, cultural projects, but they have been one way or the other instrumental in the development of those projects in Calibishi.
Honorable Gloria Shillenford, Minister for Community Development, also expressed her confidence in the new council. Her address was replete with wise counsel for both the local government body and Calibishi residents. The minister made a point of advising both local and council residents not to neglect the community's young people in the quest for development.
We cannot just give up on them, and we cannot just leave them to go astray. And so we have a responsibility to hold their hands and to talk to them and to ensure that they get themselves involved in positive programs. Government has a number of programs targeted at the youth. Please counsel with your parliamentary representative, get together, look at those programs and see how we can better help our youth.
Representing the country's Prime Minister was Honorable Ambrose George. Honorable George spoke on government's perception of local government.
We in the government of Dominica recognize and will continue to recognize the importance of local government organizations. Whether you are village council, a town council, a city council, a district development committee, a village improvement committee, whatever local community that you are, the government will continue to recognize you. And as your parliamentary representative said, it is one of the things that we have taken on board very seriously as government to empower those organizations. And you will see from time to time and on a more regular basis that the government will put resources in the hands of those organizations to undertake community-based projects which are of high impact to the various communities across the country.
GIS will bring you more from Honorable George's presentation in a subsequent newscast. And in more news, the Dominica State College has increased its portfolio of offerings with the addition of 3 new programs in the 2014-2015 academic year. For the first time, a generic Bachelor of Science degree in nursing will be offered.
We have a number of programs, for example, like the Bachelors for Science. We had students doing the pre-health program. After the pre-health program, they could do the pharmacology program or the general nursing program. But because we want to boost our economy and we want to have more trained personnel in this field, the nursing field, we get to offer the Bachelors in Nursing program. So right now, we're doing the Bachelors in Nursing. Students can come from high school, do 1 year of the certificate in pre-health and then go straight across to their bachelor's degree. This tends to save time and it also tends to save costs for the students also.
An associate's degree in mass communication is another new program, and courses in fine arts will also be offered.
We have other programs, for instance, mass communication. That's one of the programs we offer in September. And students have shown a number of interest in that field because people want to know more about journalism and stuff like that. That is a growing industry. Also, we have fine arts. The students want to do double majors and stuff like that. They want to make sure that they have more out there to put out for Dominica on a whole. So these are some of the programs that we have. People have been calling about the program, especially the mass communication program. It's of great interest to the students also.
The new program offerings by the Dominica State College will be advertised to the general public on a grand scale when the college embarks on a series of meetings with parents, guardians, and other stakeholders in various communities.
Throughout the years, we have been going, the DSC has been going throughout the high schools. Our goal was to basically try to reach the students through their career days. So usually we will go to the schools, we'll talk to the students, get them excited about college. But this year we plan to do something different by having a recruitment drive. We'll be going to different schools like Cassibru, St. Joseph, all of the high schools all over, because we plan on meeting the stakeholders and the parents instead rather than the students this year. The students are also invited to that meetings. We have town hall meetings to the schools. But then the reason for that, most times we would find parents are the one that are paying the school fees and basically going out there and getting the loans and all of that. So we want to let the parents know that it's okay to send your child to DSC. Make it up. DSC is basically making it affordable for children and their parents also. So instead of having to go through the states and all of that, we basically bring in DSC to them.
A recruitment fair is planned for Friday 16 May on the grounds of the Stork Farm campus from 9 in the morning to 2 p.m. The fair will include campus tours for potential students, presentations about specific programs, distribution of program brochures, and on-site application for the new academic year. A reef laying ceremony at the Simon Bolivar Monument in Goodwill Thursday morning was how the Venezuelan community in Dominica marked the 204th anniversary since the signing of the Declaration of Independence of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The brief ceremony was attended by officials from the Venezuelan Embassy, the government of Dominica, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and representatives for the Venezuelan Army Corps of Engineers. On April 19, 1810, the Republic of Venezuela celebrated its independence from Spain.
Today, 204 years, we're celebrating today of the signing of the Act of the Independence.
En el año 1810,
in the year 1810,
un 19 de abril,
the 19th of April,
fue convocado Vicente Emparan,
Vicente Emparan was asked for a meeting,
quien era el gobernante para esa época de la colonia de nuestro país,
who was governor of that time of our country,
que era colonia de España.
Who was the colony of Spain.
Vicente Emparan fue combinado
Vicente Emparan was communicated
a que si quería seguir gobernando al pueblo venezolano.
To see if he wanted to continue to govern the people of Venezuela.
Y una muchedumbre detrás le dijeron no queremos.
And many people say we do not want to.
Ante esto, Emparan dijo, si no quieren que los gobierne, yo tampoco quiero mando.
So, Emparan said, if you all don't want me to govern you all, then I will not.
Desde esa fecha, tenemos la independencia de nuestro país.
And from that time, it's really the independence of our country.
And finally, this news time, the Discover Dominica Authority has announced that another Grammy Award-winning artist will be featured at this year's Jazz and Creole Festival, carded for June 8, 2014. Marlo Rosado, a Puerto Rico national, will perform at the festival at the Fort Shirley Cabrits, as well as Angelique Kidjo, a Benin artist. The Discover Dominica Authority is reporting that Rosado has successfully written, played and produced hits in a variety of musical styles for some of the most renowned artists in Latin music. He earned a master's degree in jazz education, and he has taught at the elementary as well as the university level. Rosado's latest album, Retro, won the 2013 Grammy for Best Tropical Latin Album. In addition to Rosado, the 8-note band and Dominican-born Heston Francis, who resides in the U.S., will also be performing at this year's festival. Additional Dominican artists and groups will be announced in the weeks leading up to the festival. Tickets for the festival cost 75 EC at the gate. Children 12 to 18 years will pay $25, while children under 12 years will enter free. The festival, which serves as an avenue for showcasing local jazz artists next to regional and international performances, attracted over 50,000 visitors to Dominica last year. And before we end, we have one important announcement. The Ministry of Education would like to inform all parents who serve as cooks in the school's feeding programs in the East and North, scheduled to attend a training workshop in Marigot on Thursday, 24th April 2014. You are now asked to attend a workshop at the Public Service Union Center in Roseau on Wednesday, 23rd April at 9 a.m. And that's it for the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson, Saint-Louis. Premièrement, National Employment Program ni aspect développement community adai. Parole cela sorti du ministère employment, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre. Ministre McIntyre aussi fait parole qui ministre là qui assiste ministre santé, combattre et puis maladie chikungunya, car des tués bien fort parole négative en opposition.
D'autres projets communautaires, là nous avons parlé même chikungunya là qui a affecté mon naturellement, il y a des maladies. Nous avons regardé comment NEP ça aider Ministry of Health. Ministry of Health, c'est un ministère qui partenaire nous bien fort et bien nous les gens là, qui ont expertise et qui travaillent. National Employment Program ça, c'est un programme qui est bien sérieux.
Alors, nouvelle division agricole Katapiko, plus avancé et puis programme de certification citrus ayo. Division là, vous avez un morceau équipement excavator, hors programme BAM, qui a servi à assister au pile. Coordinateur programme certification Joseph Blankford fait parole qui équipement là, qui avancé pour préparer matériaux citrus à l'occasion ayo.
Morceau équipement ça a été fait, qui aide nous pour faire certain ça. Taper bite ko tse encore connaître il difficile pour taper bite ko tse c'est pas bite ko taper bon Paris oui aller bon Paris oui gars don load tse pour mener pour faire ingredients là pour faire plat là so mon équipement ça c'est que aider nous au pile parce que nous ni a lot difficulté pour taper équipement pour aider nous pour taper tse mener ici pour continuer travailler nous so aujourd'hui nous voyons programme BAM là aider nous et gagne mon équipement ça en bas nous et il fait certaines opérations nous à certification programme qui est appelé les nous availle nous qui tapé l'eau difficulté pour faire certaines ingredients là ici là il y a l'applicateur c'est difficile pour aider pour taper bite sable pour mener pour faire opération pour ces plats là soit après ça et puis mon équipement ça et qui fait plier et nous et bien nous qui fait cette opération dans ce expand plus sur nous ça pour les plis plats pour habitat.
En d'autres nouvelles, une task force qui a mis attention à cette intégration régionale qui le gouvernement établi qui a poussé devant et puis travail ailleurs. Task force là qui en opération depuis l'année passée joint mardi semaine pour faire report à ces activités ailleurs. Ambassadeur Dominique pour OECS et puis CARICOM, His Excellency Félix Grégoire en charge task force là. Quand même si l'ambassadeur Grégoire, task force ça c'est travail task force là, c'est pour implémenter décision gouvernement et puis ministère qui prend à ces états régional. Task force là ni même plusieurs ministres gouvernement, National Youth Council et puis secteur privé. Ambassadeur Grégoire dit task force là qui fait assurer que Dominique implémente décisions importantes qui concernent l'intégration régionale. Finalement, travail Jeff bien formidable en Dominique. Parole celle-là sortie au coordinateur Jeff en Dominique, mademoiselle Agnes Esprit.
Nous sommes satisfaits, nous avons autant d'autres pour faire. Nous avons fait ça nous avons fait différent. C'est ça qui fait nous avons travaillé et puis communauté avec groupes pour build capacity. Pour improve manière de faire business, encourager, supporter, technical support pour ça manager les affaires environ et les affaires natural resources à de meilleure manière. So nous avons supporter Nature Isle concept Dominique tout et globally ça mon cas pour préserver ça nous pour sustainability.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Saint-Louis. Qu'à souhaiter tout le monde un bon week-end et une belle fête de Pâques. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you the tip of the day. Don't go away.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Here's another reason to stop smoking: less stress. Scientific studies show that a person's stress level is lower after they stop smoking. Nicotine addiction makes smokers stressed from the withdrawal between cigarettes. The pleasant feeling of satisfying that craving is only temporary and is not a real cure for stress. Also, the improved levels of oxygen in the body means those ex-smokers can concentrate better and have increased mental well-being. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. So drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. From all of us here at the GIS News Desk, I am Tarnia Green. Thanks for joining us and have a pleasant Easter weekend.